Hi, this is a video in response to a challenge by our friends in 78 Puertas, or 78 Puertas, as we say in Spanish. Breakfast table, sorry for the coffee spots, and let's go to the challenge. I don't remember the whole categories. There were like 15 or 17 categories in the video, but I will just go along as I remember because this is just for fun. The first category I will refer to is my smallest deck. It would be the Rider Tarot deck in the miniature edition, which is quite small. I know there are smaller decks made by this publisher, US Game Systems, but I find this really nice and comfortable. You can see the details in the cards still, but it is not as little that you can't handle it, or that you can't really see the details. So you can see what's going on in the card, and it's easy to shuffle. Maybe riffle shuffle would be a little bit difficult with this, but I don't do riffle shuffle for my tarots. I do it with playing cards, to play cards, but not to read the tarot. I just don't like it. I like the patience and the way just this kind of shuffling feels. And well, this is small tarot, the smallest one I have, and I think this is as small as I will go for now, and it feels very comfortable. I can do large spreads. I can do a Celtic cross or whatever. I have many cards on the table, and they will fit. And it's also good for videos. You have limited space in the camera, so it's good for videos. It's good for a restaurant, maybe, or a cafe or a bar where tables are small. And it's good to keep. You can keep them in your shirt pocket. Uh, you can travel with it. It's light. It's not too light, but it's light enough. And the cardstock is just regular, and it's just a rider weight, which is the greatest hit in tarot. So it's pretty good, and I like it. So it's a keeper, and it's the smallest deck I have. And the biggest tarot I have is this glow in the dark, which is also rider weight, and these are cards that glow in the dark. Let's see if we can. It's not charged because it's been in a drawer. This is not open. This is brand new, so I still haven't opened it. This is a batch I got last Christmas, and now it's May, almost going into June, and I still haven't opened it after 6 months. So that's just to show you how I'm not in a rush with the tarot, because I'm working with the ones I already got during that time, like this one that I just opened it last month, actually. So I go slowly opening my decks. I don't need to open them all at once. So this is not even open, so I don't even know what the cards are like. Can't show you. Perhaps they're like this. So the cool thing about this one is that it glows in the dark. Right now, as I said, it's not charged, so I couldn't show you. But they have this beautiful glow. It's kind of like greenish glow over the black. It looks really nice if you charge it and turn off the lights. And they're big enough so you can see them quite nice in the dark. I don't know how they handle. So that's my biggest deck. For me, it is the Centennial edition of the Rider Waite in the tarot in the tin case. To me, this has the best colors for me, because it's they're kind of like washed colors. They have this effect, kind of like vintage. Um, Maybe some people don't like it because it's subdued, but to me it's peaceful. It's tasty. It's really nice coloring, and also I can see the drawings, the lines. I can see them. The actual line from Pamela Coleman. I can see it. It comes through really nicely in these more subdued colors, less contrasted, almost um, a little bit pastels, not really, but yeah, more subdued. Look at this. So So in addition of to being vintage, like this card is really, for me, it's always in other tarot, in other editions, it's difficult to see what's going on in this card because of the darkness. But here, many details come alive much better with the subdued colors. With the things tend to separate better. So I really like the work they've done. This card is also another one that the coloring really helps. So it's not saturated. It's it's really nice. So this is the one that wins for me in coloring. Uh, Centennial edition of the Rider Waite deck. On to the next category. Your most esoteric tarot, and I have, again, it's hard to pick one, but in this case I will show this tarot, which is I made it myself. I printed it. I researched it, then I designed it on the computer, the, in a program, and I printed it. So this is homemade, and this is the, oops, it was reversed. So this comes from a book called the Manuel synthétique et pratique du tarot par Eudes Picard. I wonder if he's a relative of Jean-Luc Picard. So Eudes Picard, so he wrote a book that was called like this. It's a manual, and it's in the, you can get it off the Yale Library. The Yale, just go to the Yale Library website, and in the search box, type tarot, and you will get all the options, the different things that they have on tarot, and one of them is this book. So it's a manual. So it's a book like any book, and you can download it on PDF, and it has a description of what a tarot is, and it was made in 1909. Yeah, it says here 1909. So this is even, I think this was made at the same time as the Rider Waite was being made. So um, so this is a book that talks about the tarot and what does it. It's very it is in the occultist tradition, and the author had he illustrated the book with drawings. So I took the drawings and just printed them out as a tarot. So this is it. Uh, it's in black and white, and they look kind of like this. This is the. It's a little bit hard sometimes to make out. This is this Seven of Cups. This is the Page of Coins, Valet de Denier. Very interesting, huh? This is the Neft of Scepters. This is the Nine of Wands. This is the Page of Wands, Four of Wands. So you see, it has a like this that represents the duality, and I don't know, this lion, and it has a whole lot of symbols and meanings. This is the Queen of Cups. It's very different, except for the major arcana, which are based off a regular tarot from Marseille. So the major arcana are like this. This is the bateleur, and it has a handwriting, and it has I think it's a planet symbol. This is the sun, I suppose. And the other ones are like this. So I think this would qualify as my most esoteric deck, because it has a whole lot of esoteric imagery. This is the Knight of Wands. This is the Seven of Coins. Always he works always with the duality. Well, maybe reading the book, the description that comes with each in each page, with each card, um, it can describe better what's going on in the image. So this is it's deep, it's thick, it's heavy. It's something you can study. So I don't know how good it is for readings. Of course, you can use it for readings. Um, Yet, yeah, it can yield a whole new level of it can yield a whole new level of readings. This is the Nine of Coins, and the Pentacle there, and so it feels like the minor arcana are even more complicated than the major arcana. Look at that. This is like the devil. It looks almost like a kid's drawing. So he's copying, and look at this. Like he plays much more effort. Look at this owl inside of the pentacle. and these cups. So okay, this is also been published, I think, as the esoteric tarot, a variation of this, not this very same one, and in color. I've seen it somewhere, and as a pet project of mine, I would like to go on the computer and color it, maybe, uh, but it will take a long time to do. But I would say this is my most esoteric tarot. So let's go on with the next category. It's hard to pick the best faces, and I can. There are a few runners up. Even the Morgan Greer is great. All of them are great. Uh, and the Marseille, the classic Marseille, the one made by Grimaud, the Paul Marteau Marseille is great. I think it's based on the Convert. So I think the Marseille by Nicolas Convert is like the best faces ever. Uh, and I have one over here, which you know what the one I'm talking about, the one that's been published in 1930. I think that would be the all-time best faces. However, I'm going to pick as my favorite faces uh, the Rider-Waite, just because they have so many faces, and they are so beautifully drawn. They are so beautifully drawn by Pamela Coleman, and such they are exquisite. She was such a great draftswoman. Uh, so those faces are the variety of faces, the delicacy of the faces, the their expressions, the sadness in some of them, the familiarity in the faces that we come to know. Look at that smirk. So yeah, this has to be my favorite faces, just because they're just incredible, right? Beautiful. They're beautiful. Maybe they don't have a much ethnic variety, like the Morgan Greer has more variety in that way. But still, I really love the the, the ones in the Rider-Waite. I'm showing the miniature edition here, but it's just the same, isn't it? So, yep, that's that category. Just the ones I know, the ones that I have, but undoubtedly the best cardstock is in this tarot. This is the Wild Unknown Pocket Tarot by Kim Kranz. Beautiful tarot, very different. This is also, I think this is one that this cardstock just feels so right, so good, so smooth, so silky. Like the cards just slide really nicely. It feels, the size matters, so it's good. I think it has like a little mute muffled sound, which I like. It's a little muffled. It's not too loud, but it also sounds a little fat. So even though it's a small deck, so this is the best cardstock. It feels so right. Uh, there's also the continuation of this, the Oracle, the Animal Oracle, and it has a really nice cardstock. So this feels really good. Feels really nice. That's the best cardstock. I would say the best for shadow work is the Thoth. Uh, this tarot, I don't bring it as often as I bring it out as often as I should, mainly because it's a little heavy and the cards are. I like that they're big because you can see the details very well. However, it's too big that I can't really fit my hand on it. Look at how my index almost doesn't come out the whole way around when I'm holding it. So I feel it's a little bit difficult for me to manage it. But still, you find ways around it, and I find that it yields. This is also this deck doesn't give you any concessions. This doesn't sugarcoat it at all. It's very. It has no mercy, right? It has no mercy. I found that it can also be very. Why was she upside down? Um, okay, some of these are upside down. Um, this deck has no mercy. This deck, I found that it can be also very tender. It doesn't look like it uh, at first, because you can get really heavy and harsh readings. It's very, I don't know, I think of Nietzsche a little bit when I use it, because it's very straightforward, and you need to be a strong spirit to take the messages. Sometimes you need to have the will of power, like, or look at these cards, right? So you need to be in a special. You need to be ready to accept whatever it says. So it's really good for shadow work, like the name implies, the thought. That's my best. That's my tarot to go for shadow work. Are those all the categories? No, the last category. Um, oh, which is your first tarot? Yes, yes. Hold on. I have it right here. My first tarot deck, and also this is going to be the best, so far the best story for tarots, is I was walking down a marketplace, a popular marketplace in South America, and I was going through the stands, the fruit, uh, and then there is a section of the marketplace where after the fruit and after the legumes, once you bought all your apples, and then bananas, and then once you've got your lettuce and beet, the next section of the market, it's the herbs. So they sell chamomile, and they sell all these herbs for spices, but also for medicinal purposes. And that's where the traditional medicine and alternative knowledge comes in. So they sell Palo Santo, so you can burn it and cleanse your home. You have rosemary. Well, if you know about green magic or medicinal uh, plants, you know what I'm talking about. So in that section, you know how things tend to collide. There was somebody that had saints and things like that, along with the herbs. Uh, there's packs of herbs you can buy. You can boil it and you wash yourself over them in order to have good luck. All those kinds of things. Or you can buy tobacco so you can smoke it and cleanse your home with it, and all those kinds of things. And in the mix, I saw that the person had tarot decks. Okay, in the magical side of the market. And I didn't know much about tarot, but I wanted to get one. I wanted to have a tarot deck then, so I went and asked, and I bargained, and it was this. It's called the Spanish Tarot de Español, and it comes in this box, and it says, and there you can see the cards. It says full color booklet, and it even comes with a seal of quality here that says tarot, so you have to break it, and then you open it. Of course, now the tarot is here in my hand. This is just the box, and it came like that. And there's the instruction booklet. And there's some even blank cards, totally blank, and it came in there like this. So I took it out, and this was it. So it's the Spanish tarot, and it's actually a counterfeit of this one by Fournier. Okay, this is the original, and I will make another video comparing both. So my first tarot was a counterfeit Spanish tarot, but actually, one thing, I will make another video comparing them. But actually, I prefer this box. You see, it's even fancier. It comes with a seal of quality, even though even though it's the fake, even though it's the counterfeit. It's a counter. So this was my first tarot, and yeah, it comes with a divination guide, a divination key here, both for the upright and inverted positions. I don't really use that, but sometimes when I'm playing with it, I look at it and I learn. Sometimes these divination keys are uh, are taken from the Rider Waite meanings, and it's a mix, but it's informative. and it's the same as the Spanish tarot, and it's really nice tarot. The Spanish tarot, that is, um, these images, and they're it's really nice. But the coloring is a little bit off, and I don't know the names they made in computer. I don't know why. So it's a little bit different. It's a little bit bigger, so it also doesn't really fit that well in my hands, especially they're a little bit tall, and uh, and the cardstock isn't that great. Well, it's just normal cardstock, I guess. It's kind of like glossy coated, as you can see, and but since it's cheap and counterfeit, I use it. This is the tarot deck that I use. I take out with me in the streets when I do. Uh, Sometimes I go and I do street readings for $1 or something like that. I just take this one, and this is the one that it can fall down on the street and get into a puddle of dirt, and like it's not that I mistreat it on purpose, but this is my work horse uh, tarot, as opposed to the Centennial, which I never take out, only when I do some really personal readings or want another flavor. It never leaves home. It's just in the drawer, and it's in pristine condition. This one, on the other hand, I just take it everywhere. This is not my to-go tarot deck, but this is my work tarot, and this is like, yeah. So I have a special relationship with it, uh, um, even though it's not fancy tarot. Like I said, it's inexpensive, but the both the story of how I got it and also my first tarot goes into makes it special enough to go into this video and to have a special mention. So that's it, my first tarot and uh, the good story. Which tarot has the favorite backs? And it would be this, um, the Morgan Greer. I really like these backs with the stars. I think they're pretty. I think they're magical. Mm. I would just like them. I like the color. They're just my favorite and what I have here. My hardest tarot to master is this one. This is actually the Jeu de Tarot. So this is the original tarot, really, just as tarot. But this is not like a divination tarot. This is fabricated in France. This is made in France, and it's actually not what you would expect. It's not. I guess this is the most traditional tarot, but it's the most different. So I have the major arcana separated. So it looks like this. They just look like playing cards, like the poker cards. With the difference that they have. They have the valet, which is the jack. They have the queen, the dame, but they also have the addition of the cheval or chevalier, which would be the knight, and the king, the roi. So in that respect, it's like a tarot because it includes the the horseman, it includes the knight, which regular playing cards do not. But beyond that, it's just like that. It's the same suit, so this doesn't have cups or coins, but it has hearts, uh, spades, clubs, but not in Spanish we call them treble. So, and I also like the faces here. So why is this my hardest to master? You would say because of this, of the trumps. The major arcana are different, are like this. So this is 14. So 14, what is 14? This is 16. Look at them. This is 19. So 19 would be the sun, but it's not the sun. 6. This would be the lovers, but this is not the lovers. This is just two ladies having tea. And then if you reverse it, there's like people in the country, maybe sowing a field, or you know, like some soldiers. This would be the world, but it's not the world as we know it. It's a line of soldiers, and reversed, like a social gathering, a party from the, I don't know, 18th century. So it's hard to master because even though I could say, okay, this is the world and go with the meaning of the card, of the world when it comes out, I could do that in the reading, but I can get a little bit confused. So, and I feel it's not really how it's supposed to work, because what does this have to do with the world card, that we're used to in the Marseille deck? This is something totally different. What if it comes like this, or what if it comes like this? I would have to read differently because the pictures are just different. So I looked into it I've done a little research on it, and it says that it depicts the bourgeois life in the city, and it depicts the country life. So that makes kind of sense. and it also has a duality of the pleasure, the leisure, and the work. So people are working, or they're having a leisure, or they are leisurely in a party, but in the city, the bourgeois, or they are having a party, but in the country. So those are kind of the themes, and also some of the things here. It is again. There's a painter in the country, and there's a, well, he's in the country too. There's a photographer. So those, like, maybe the old and the new. This I was gonna say this would be the kind of like the jester, but he's one. This would be the magician. So it's more like a theater comedy. So they also say these represent this different stages of life, like childhood, adulthood. As I said before, work and leisure. Women, you know, uh, men. Separated by gender too from that time. So the men doing their business, and the women taking care of the children, or So this would be the fool, who is more like a troubadour, right? So this is the hardest tarot to master, because it seems to be a different system in the majors, and plus the minors seem to be more of like a cartomancy, in the cartomancy tradition than in the Marseille tradition. So it's a mixture. So I think it's its own thing, its own system, and yet it's called tarot, and yet it's the original, I think, tarot, because this is used to play the game tarot. It's, as you may know, there is a game that a traditional game that it's played even today, which is called the tarot. So, well, these are the decks that I wanted to show you for the challenge. I hope you enjoyed the video.